Hello, it's Tim and Lorraine from Fair Play Now on the 20th of June 2021. So we're just going to have another little talk between us, airing sort of views and things like that. So shall we kick off with, and obviously I'm just sort of recently back from my sort of week on the YouTube naughty step. So, what did you think of all that yourself?
I just think it's completely crazy. I can't understand what it was that you said in that video that caused you to be on the naughty step in the first place. But censorship is definitely getting worse, and I think that if the powers that be weren't worried about what you were saying or what all the people like you are saying, they wouldn't bother censoring it.
No, as people have said, sort of right over the target, I guess.
Yeah, because no offence to you, but you've got 1,600 subscribers, which, I mean, we love the subscribers and we're really grateful that there are people out there that are listening to what you say. But in the grand scheme of things, with the many millions of people there are in this world, why do they care what we think?
Yeah, why are they sort of worried about little old us?
Yeah.
It's
insane.
Doesn't make any sense, does it really? But it was a shock to me really, that day when I sort of woke up to see I'd had this video taken down. All that happens basically is you see just, 1 minute it was there, and then the next minute, the video at the top of the ones that you've made just suddenly isn't there anymore, and you think, where's that gone? And then you think, oh no, and you look at your sort of email, and you've got that message saying you've been naughty. Yeah. A week's naughty step for you now.
Yeah.
So,
but it does put me in mind, and a lot of comments were saying a similar thing, that it's kind of like a badge of honour and all the rest of it. But do you remember when Radio 1 banned Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
Yeah.
And by banning it, it made it go to number one, because everyone was like, ooh, what's so bad about this record? And everyone just went out and bought it. And I think that if they're not careful, censorship is going to do the same thing, because people will be thinking, well, what was it that he said that was so bad? And all the other people that are regularly getting banned, what is it that they're saying that's so bad? So it may well lead people to look further into it. It may do.
Yeah, you'd sort of hope so, really, wouldn't you? Yeah. Moving on from the censorship thing, we went to our local stand in the park again today, being Sunday, and I got talking to some interesting people there. Who did you speak to, and what were they saying?
Really, I spent a lot of the time speaking to Julie and Sue, both of whom I think were new to the group.
Oh, right.
This was their first week, and we were discussing, funnily enough, censorship.
Right.
We were discussing that. But also we were talking about when we started to smell a rat, when we started thinking that, this was just too weird. And also we were talking about, I think, as you do when you meet new people of like-mindedness, what their family and friends think of them.
Yeah.
Sue was saying that her family aren't having this, and they're all of the same mind. Julie was saying that her sister isn't and is of the same mind of her. Right. And we were saying that how lucky we are, because we've basically got no friends who are in our old circle who feel the same as us. No. I've got one friend who isn't going to have the because she just doesn't ever have them. She doesn't see the point, because she's a healthy young person.
Yeah. She's the one who works in a care home.
And she has said she will leave if it becomes mandatory to have the dreaded. But pretty much all other friends are just going along with it. So it was nice that we were saying that it's good that, like, we're of the like-minded.
Yeah, that's a very good
And
thing,
I mean, I said that last time, and they were saying that they were glad that they had family members who were supporting what they thought.
Yeah.
In fact, Sue was saying that her son was the first one to say, this isn't right.
Oh,
There's
really?
something else
Right.
going on. And she said, like me, at the beginning, she was going along with it and thought, oh my gosh, you know, the whole world is going to die of this thing. Bit like when AIDS first came out.
Yeah.
And because I was so young back then, I thought we were all going to die of AIDS. So
yeah, it was a worry back then.
yeah,
and then
because nobody knew what was causing it. We didn't know that it was caused by bodily fluids.
Yeah.
And suddenly all these people were dying.
That's the benefit of being a bit older. You kind of see that all this stuff happening before, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And so we were saying really pretty much how much easier it is if you have got that circle of friends who are like-minded. And that's the lovely thing about a stand in the park, is the fact that some people do have like ideas that we perhaps don't share about where this is all going, and why this is all going, and they probably, some of the things I say, they're perhaps not 100% on, but it's lovely to be able to have an honest discussion, and you're not biting your tongue, and you're not thinking, oh goodness, if I say this, are they going to be offended?
Yes, yeah.
I do that a lot with my old circle of friends.
Yeah.
I think of everything that I'm saying, and I think, do I say that? You know, how much do I say? And it's nice to be with a group of people that
you can just speak your mind
about this situation. I mean, I'm not saying
about everything.
everything, but about this situation, you can speak your mind, say how you feel, and you know that they're not going to think, oh my God, she's lost the plot. Because everything that you're saying, they've thought of.
It's
as
really,
well.
really valuable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if we can get other communities like that going somehow, rather than just this thing. I know there is a few other things out there, but we can...
I mean, the thing is, like Ellie said that one of the ladies at the group said that they're going to start dropping leaflets about it.
Yeah.
And so they've got somebody who's going to drop 750 in Maiden Bower, and somebody else is going to drop some more. And even if nobody reads them, or if just one person reads them.
Yeah, I know. Out of 750, even if it was just 10 people who kind of took a bit of it on board.
Well, this is it. And she said they've got, I think, 3,000 just to see how it goes.
Right.
And Sue gave me lots of links for people that she follows on Telegram. There's also a lot of that, isn't there? You know, follow this person, look what this person's saying.
Yes.
And just sharing those sort of ideas.
Yeah, getting new sources of information, it can't hurt, can it, really?
No, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I suppose moving on from Stand in the Park, before it starts just sounding like a big advert for it. What else has happened in the week that you either have liked or haven't liked? I mean, it's been quite an eventful week.
Well, actually, no, I find that worse, because this is something that's been given to people.
Yeah, so many people have sort of done it on the promise of being allowed to go away to wherever, fly and stuff, and now they possibly can't.
Yeah, and then is that the whole thing? Is that what they've always wanted? They've always wanted us to stop travel.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Because of the carbon footprint.
Who knows what the agenda is behind all of this? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
No. And also, sorry, Stand in the Park. Sue was saying in some ways she wished she hadn't taken the red pill.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's quite frightening what you then find out.
Yeah.
When you start digging deeper.
Yeah, and I've started that journey, in earnestly about a year ago, or just over a year ago now, and some of the things I've come across are very frightening, really, and whether it all ends up coming true or not, and hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah. What else has there been? Facebook sites, I get quite irritated with things that people are posting.
Yeah, what was that thing you saw the other day?
So one of my work colleagues posted that this thing from a doctor, and that was against people like me who say no to the big V.
Yeah, working in a building.
He was saying that if you work in that building, they have to have regular HIV tests, and if you go to certain countries, you have to have a yellow fever jab, and was saying, so why aren't you having the big V?
Yeah.
As if that has any correlation to anything.
Yeah, it's not
because
exactly
in actual
the same.
fact, when we went to Bali, there's rabies in Bali, and as you know, if you catch rabies, your chances of survival are nil. But you choose whether you have that or not.
Yeah,
it's your choice.
Yeah, I actually had that, and you didn't. So
no, I did have that one. It was the
you did have that.
It was what was that funny sounding name one?
Japanese encephalitis.
That's it. That's the one I didn't have.
Ah, right, yeah.
But we both did have the rabies.
Yeah.
And I get very worried that things like that should be freedom of choice might become mandated.
Yes. Well, we had the big news from the care homes.
The care homes, and I do have a friend who works in a care home.
Yeah.
And she's just, I think you've said this.
Yeah, she's just.
She is
a bit worried, is she? I guess.
Well, she's just said, "I'll leave."
Yeah.
No two ways about it. I will leave.
Well, good on her. At least that is a bit of bravery for you.
There was something else I was thinking of, and it's completely gone out of my head.
Actually, while you think of that, we've said a few kind of spicy things here, so I think I'm going to have to sort of edit this down a fair bit for sort of YT, but I'll put the full version of this video onto my site under my videos. So it's fairplaynow.net/my. So you can then watch the full episode there. So, have you thought about the...
No, but it was something this week that I came across and I was going to mention, and it's just out of my head.
Matt Hancock and what he said about...
Oh, yeah. So, concerning thought, although, to be fair, they've been talking about doing this for other things as well in the past. So, Matt Hancock... said that if you don't have the big V, just won't treat you if they're busy. And two things wrong with that, because it's supposed to be a service for the British citizens or people in this country. It's supposed to be a free service for us all. Secondly, this has been failing for years, and not because of the staff, because the staff do an amazing job, but because it's under-resourced, underfunded, and a lot of the times they have trouble getting staff because of that very reason. So this has always been busy for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
There's always been waiting lists that are crazily long, and they regularly change how they report that so that they seem to be complying with whatever the waiting list restrictions are. So the dentist is always going to be busy. So does that mean that you'll never get treated unless you have the big V? Saying that, if you do have the big V, it does seem at the minute that that's causing more works.
Yeah. So
because of the illnesses that are coming out of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know they have talked about that if you're obese and it's your own, and if you're an alcoholic and if you're a smoker, they've been talking for a long time that just shouldn't treat you.
Yeah,
because it's your own fault, and it's never come. So I do think
it could be just a bit of scaremongering
to try and get people to have it.
I think they're getting desperate.
But seriously, I mean, so they're telling me that if you go to your apartment because you've been in a car accident, they're going to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you haven't had that."
Yeah.
And they'll just kick you out and leave you on the pavement to die.
Well,
I mean, and why?
They're not allowed to. They can't be allowed to do that.
What I choose to do, why is that affecting anybody else?
Yeah. You've paid for that with your taxes, so they can't do that. They just can't do it.
No, and then where does it end? If they, because then they'll set a precedent, and then it will be, oh, well, now you've had a heart attack and you're obese, so we're not treating you.
Well, yeah.
It will set a precedent, and it will just be insane.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, big concern.
Yeah.
That he's even said it, and they've even let him say it, and that's been reported on. I mean, seriously, people need to get a grip.
Yeah, definitely.
To be sure.
Yeah. Actually, just one last thought I've got before we wrap up. As we're sort of just going on full-on spice here, someone was saying again at the stand today about pilot.
Yeah, there's been 4 deaths.
And God forbid that happens in the air as well. I mean, what the hell would you bloody do? Well,
they do have co-pilots. Unless, of course, it happens to them both at the same time.
Yeah, hopefully it wouldn't happen to both of them. So, there's going to be all these...
There's repercussions.
Repercussions, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we'll leave it there for today. We'll be back in the next sort of week or two. The two of us. I'll be back on my own tomorrow. As I say, we've got very, very spicy here, so I'm going to have to edit this fairly heavily for YouTube, but you can catch the rest of it on my website. So it's been Tim and Lorraine from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.